Noah was never dramatic. He wasn't the type to shout, slam doors, or make scenes. His love was steady, almost quiet, like warm coffee on a rainy day. I used to think that kind of love was boring. Now I realize it was rare, and I destroyed it. With one selfish choice. It started with disconnection. We were both busy. Him with work, trips, and deadlines, me juggling clients and late hours at the office. Slowly, the space between us grew. We stopped laughing at the same jokes, stopped sitting close on the couch. We were still married, but we felt more like polite roommates. Enter Jason, a coworker. Charismatic, attention-grabbing, the kind of man who noticed when I wore a new dress or had a rough day. I know now that the attention I craved wasn't about Jason. It was about me not understanding how to cope with my own emptiness. It happened once. Just once. I justified it to myself. Noah was out of town. I was lonely. Jason offered comfort, but when I woke up next to him, my skin crawled. The guilt was instant and suffocating. I wanted to undo it. Rewind time. But some things don't erase. I told myself I'd never do it again. I swore to be better, but I didn't confess. I thought I could bury it, that it would disappear. Then, one rainy Friday night, Noah came home early from a trip. I didn't hear the door open. I was still in the bedroom with Jason. Noah stepped into the hallway. The door was ajar. He didn't say anything, just stood there. I'll never forget the look in his eyes. It wasn't rage. It wasn't shock. It was stillness. Like he'd stopped breathing. Like he just watched something in him die. I jumped up, pulled on a robe, rushed after him, babbling nonsense. Jason awkwardly gathered his clothes behind me. I reached for Noah, but he backed away slowly. His voice, when he finally spoke, was alone and even. Thank you for confirming everything I felt for the past few months. Then he turned and walked. Out. No slamming doors, no cursing. Just silence. I ran after him, but he was already gone. My world spun as I stood on the front step, soaked in rain. Realizing that I hadn't just made a mistake, I detonated something sacred. He didn't answer any of my calls. Not that night, not the next, not ever. I tried calling his friends, his sister, his boss. No one would tell me where he went. Week later, I got a knock on the door. Courier handed me an envelope, separation papers. Inside was a letter in Noah's handwriting. It said, "You don't get to cry about losing what you chose to throw away. I loved you with everything I had. I hope one day when the noise fades, you remember what quiet love felt like. And I hope it haunts you." I fell to my knees on the floor. Clutching that letter, that was the moment I broke. Not when he caught me, not when he left, but when I realized I'd never get to explain, never get to show him I understood the weight of what I did. I had murdered his trust, and with it, any version of us that still had a chance. I still haven't seen him. I've heard he moved to another city, took a new job, he started fresh. I scroll through his social media sometimes. He looks thinner, quieter, but there's a calm in his eyes now that wasn't there when he was with me. Toward the end, I've tried therapy. I've apologized in every form possible. Emails, handwritten letters, voicemails I know he never listens to, but it doesn't change the truth. He didn't react with rage. He didn't humiliate me. He walked away with dignity. Somehow that broke me more than any scream could have. People think punishment comes from fights, from vengeance. But sometimes the real punishment is watching. Someone you love decide they're done without needing to raise their voice. Sometimes the silence is the loudest form of heartbreak. I live in that silence now. Every morning I pour coffee into the mug that used to be his. Every night I lay on the side of the bed he once warmed. And every time I look at the front door, I remember how he walked through it. Once as my husband, and once as a man who would never return. Let me know if you want this turned into a dialogue-based story or adapted from Noah's point of